Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dynamic Dance Podcast, episode number 3. I'm Dan,
I'm also down.
and today we are doing, as we said we would, the wrestling's most anticipated. It was going to be a top 5 for 2022. Now it's the most anticipated for 2022, which means anything that's in wrestling or involved with wrestling that you are most anticipating, or you're most anticipating watching, or you want to watch. Um, check it out. Check it out. Try it out. And as always, yo boy, what are you drinking?
So I have beer in front of me. I have three different beers. I'm gonna show them to you. I want you to pick which one.
Ooh, a
Okay,
little game here.
I bought them today. So I have
He's having a
the
little bit
first
of
one.
fun with us.
I have a Birra Moretti. So this is a Birra Moretti. This is an Italian beer. It's very nice. I like this.
Authentica?
It's good.
Authentica?
Or Lato L'Ontetica.
Authentica. Alrighty.
Ricetta dal 1859. It's pretty old. It's a
It
660
it
mil,
it looks
4.6%.
it looks empty on the cam. I don't know.
There's a beer in there. Oh my god, it does look empty, doesn't it?
Do
It
you
does look
not do
beer
you
like
see
that.
that too? Okay,
Yeah.
that is a beer. Ghost
We have
beer.
and we have a dry Asahi, which is a
Ooh.
Japanese
Yeah.
lager, which is only 500 ml, so only getting half a liter there, but still one of my favorite beers. And then I have this thing that I've never tried. It's
Oh.
like some weird fucking. It's like in this weird
I've heard of that.
can. Sapporo. I
I've
think
heard
it
of
is.
Sapporo.
This was expensive. This cost me like £3 for just this fucking 660 ml can, which is quite expensive for a beer. Because these are like 3 for £5, which is pretty good.
Really?
Oh, but this one I've never tried, and it's Japanese too. I like Japanese beers; those are like my favorites. But I don't know. What's your choice, mate? You got the Asahi,
I
Sapporo, or you got the Birra Moretti.
so my point that I'm gonna make here is that I think you should go with the acai
Asahi.
because I think you're gonna really enjoy it. And Japan is a good theme for a wrestling podcast to stick with. On top of that, I don't want you to be drinking that 3 pound beer on for a podcast episode. I think you should save
You
it
know
for
what?
a good time.
I
So
feel like that makes me want to drink it more for the podcast.
it does, but it doesn't, dude. Maybe. Oh,
Your
here's.
opinion.
You know what?
Go on.
If you're, well, you'll probably drink it by then. I don't know how long you can
Oh,
save a
absolutely.
beer, but I'm
If
saying
you're gonna say Halloween,
if you like it enough, maybe you get another one for Halloween.
I could drink both
You
right
know
now.
what? If you want to drink both, but we'll start with the one that
Acai.
the acai, and then if you end up getting to the other one, then you do.
Good choice. Oh fuck.
All right, my drink for today
Beautiful
is
choice.
because I'm trying to um clear out my sinuses. I'm drinking sriracha, so we're gonna
Please don't do it.
come
I
through.
saw it in your hand. Do not do this. Hold on, actually. Wait there.
Oh no! Oh no! Is he gonna do it with me? No, I wasn't actually gonna do it. Wait a minute! I don't think I was. I wasn't actually planning on it, and then he's. I think he's about to do it with me. I wasn't actually gonna
I'm
do it,
in.
and now that you've grabbed that, we have to.
I'm in.
I will
Cheers.
say before we start, okay, cheers. But I do have an actual drink. It's literally just orange sparkling water. It's
What
like
is it?
bargain brand Lacroix. It's very
Orange
pleasant.
mimosa.
Orange mimosa,
That's
unsweetened,
absolutely good.
non-alcoholic. It's kind of shitty,
I wonder how
but
this is gonna mix together. Hmm? That's a bad idea.
all right. Now that we're well and awake,
Fuck. Yeah, me too.
I don't know about you, but
It's like a palate. Oh.
this is too this is too carbonated to
This is
make this feel
perfect.
any better. You
Beer
fucking
and
bitch.
spicy stuff. Beer and spicy stuff is just.
I also have the fumes of giant um Sharpie marker in my nose going through all this as well. That
Look at
definitely
that.
doesn't help. I have like giant Sharpie fumes in my like I'm gonna be
I'm
high.
high. Spicy.
I'm high and spicy all the time, baby.
Oh, fucking love sriracha. It's so good.
Dude, it's the best. Wait, what is the brand on that?
A Thai Dragon is ours.
See, I've got the classic.
So mine's like made to look like yours.
It is. I've got the classic
What the
rooster.
fuck?
I've got the Hoi Fong rooster, the original, the
Hoi
classic.
Fong. Ours is just called Thai Dragon. Suitable for vegans. There you go. I'm not one, but if you are, fair play.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to read
It's
if mine said that too, and I didn't see it. My favorite thing about the bottle too is it says all the things you can put it on, and it literally lists chow mein as like the
Ooh,
last thing you can put it on.
mine's got that too. Mine's got meats, kebab, sandwiches. I wouldn't put it on a sandwich. Why would you put it on a sandwich? What the fuck?
Meats
Burgers
kebabs.
and drizzle over your favorite dish for a sizzling kick. Now, real quickly,
Mine
the sentence says drizzle over your favorite, but they put a capital F for favorite, which is bad grammar. But okay,
ours
thanks,
says
Tony.
sriracha, made from sun-ripened chilies, is ready to use in soups, sauces, pasta, pizza, hot dogs, hamburgers, chow mein, or anything to add a delicious spicy taste. Hoi Fong
Mine's
just be
mine.
going in, bro.
Mine's different to yours. Mine says made from delicious pickled red chilies.
Does yours tell you to shake it? Now that's the question.
It does not.
Oh, shake well on mine. Hoi
Oh,
Fong be
what's
telling
that?
you to shake that motherfucker.
No, Thai dragon, just kind of boring.
Damn Thai Dragon.
So
Get
yours
dunked
is
on.
made out of sun dried,
Sun ripened.
sun ripened. Mine's made out of pickled red chilies.
They look the same though. They probably taste the same.
Once opened, keep refrigerated and consume within 8 weeks. Best
Within eight
before
weeks.
best before the 17th of December 2022. Love to see it.
All right. So, um, we'll talk about this real quick. Next week is obviously the Halloween episodes. We will be all
Let's
dressed
go.
up, all dolled up, and then after that, going for the opening of November, the first podcast of November. Do expect that we will have our first guest on the show. Um,
Yeah.
it will be a Triple Dan event. Um, but yeah, today we're recording this episode a little bit ahead. So I will say this: we're not recording it on the same day as we normally do. We are recording this a couple days in advance because the boy's gonna be away.
Busy
Um,
Friday.
yeah, boy.
Let's go.
And you know what? I'll take it because I'm off on Friday. So if we're not doing the podcast, I'll just sleep or something, or just lay in bed.
Perfect.
It'll
Love it.
be beautiful. It's Sriracha's fighting back already.
It's not great. It's not great.
I can't wait for one of us to just like sneeze red during this.
I'm pretty good with spice. I'm not gonna lie. I'm usually pretty good.
See, I am too, but the thing is, sriracha, it's the garlickiness of it because there's so much garlic in sriracha that
I have
drinking
like
it
a bit
straight
of
makes it
something.
painful. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
garlic of it makes it painful in the mouth. The spice of it's not as bad.
Conservative. Potassium sorbate and color paprika.
Y'all have potassium sorbate?
Sorbate?
We have that too. We also have sodium bisulfite.
Nope, not in mine.
What about
Xanthan.
What
Xanthan
about
gum.
xanthan gum? We're on the Bro, you gotta love xanthan gum. Xanthan gum. All right.
My God.
So last episode was the 2021 um, Dan's award show for pro wrestling. We are gonna do more award shows. Be on the lookout. But it was sort of our way too early. Like, hey, we're gonna do some awards now, and then we'll go back later in the year and look back at what we got wrong and right, and if
Beautiful.
anything would change, or if we'd give anybody an award based on like the final, like the fourth quarter of the year. But until then, you know, we're gonna ride with those awards, and then part of the award show that I kind of made the decision last second, like, hey, let's cut that, make it its own show, is today's episode, which was gonna be top 5, became top 7, became most anticipated, but just the people to watch, the companies to watch, the things in wrestling to watch for 2022. Um, and we're gonna do it in sort of like a list format. So we're just gonna go back and forth. I mean, I don't have a particular order for mine, but
Me either.
I know the particular order that I think I'm gonna bring mine up in. So,
Okay. That's
um,
that's cool with me.
and actually, because I believe I let you start first on the awards, if I'm not going
Go for it.
mental, I'll start with mine because I'm gonna start with the guy that I know for a fact we both have.
Yeah,
So
I
we
think we
can
spoke about this
just
when we finished
we did,
last time.
yeah. So we could just start off talking about our boy,
Yeah, man.
a guy that started getting traction on the indies like late 2019 going into 2020, like kind of, and then like the COVID,
COVID.
when COVID was really starting to try to get, like when the indies started to try to get a resurgence on during COVID. There was that what do they call it, the collective, like weekend.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Yeah, huge
weekend in
one.
particular, he really had a bit of a breakout weekend, and from there it's just been up. Wrestled for MLW now, wrestled for AEW plenty of times. Actually signed by
Signed to
MLW.
AEW.
Yeah,
Yeah,
signed by
signed to
AEW.
AEW. Well, signed by both, and then what? I don't fucking know.
Who knows?
It's weird.
But Lee Moriarty, the big homie, he legit. So I had heard of him obviously because he had been making some news before this, but the first time I had really properly seen him wrestle like a full match of his was the match with Jonathan Gresham at Joey Janela's
Yeah,
Spring
me
Break
too.
4 during the collective weekend. And
Yeah, me too.
his style of wrestling fits, well, it fits almost every kind of mold because
So
he can do the grappling stuff with Gresham. He can be a high flyer in some ways. He can be your indie-rific like big move guy. He has just like a real, he has a sense for how to do things in a wrestler's like context, like to sort of sell a match, but he still does it in such an exciting way. Like he's not boring by any means.
yeah, yeah,
I get down with some Lee Moriarty, so I'm excited to see what he does in 2022, especially now that he's a full-time AEW roster member.
yeah. Me too. I mean, I love Lee. Spoke to him a couple times. He's a design guy himself, so we definitely had a couple back and forths. He's a really cool guy. Not only is he like gonna be, I think, gonna be one of the biggest talents like in the world soon enough, but definitely just like a cool guy overall. Like you do get these people that are really fucking good wrestlers, but they're
Oh yeah,
dickheads. Will
true.
Ospreay, but you know, like it's gonna be honest, I don't really care.
No, he
But
deserves it. He deserves everything he gets.
I could name thousands, but we'll leave it at just him for now. But Lee's just like a really nice guy, really cool dude. Treats everyone with respect. Seems just
Yeah.
loved by everyone. I don't think I've met anyone that doesn't
No,
like what he
yeah,
does.
that's he's just a genuine like fun dude to like seemingly to work with and seemingly to like be around. And also, that I will say that since you mentioned it, he does design his own stuff, but also I never made the plug. Once again, check out the description. Feel the heel heat. It's out there.
It's actually
Yes,
live now.
it is live now at whatamaneuver.com. You can go get some heel heat merch. Beautiful shirt, gorgeous design with the damn rainbow and shit. That I need to get one. I haven't got one yet because I've been spending a lot of money lately. But
Definitely.
I low key have though.
I want to
Like
get a hoodie. I want to get a hoodie
oh, true.
because
It's
I
hey,
love like
it's listen. It's hoodie
the
season,
hoodies and
team.
man.
It's hoodie season. It's fall. It's about to be winter, and then it's about to be spring. It's hoodie season.
It's
Go
all
get your damn
time.
heel heat hoodie.
Do it.
But yeah, Lee Moriarty is really that dude. I just like I said, I
Gonna be for a long time.
and also he's low key winning in life. You just look at this man's Twitter.
He's fucking.
He's
He's cool
vibing,
as shit,
dog.
man.
He's
He's so
vibing,
cool.
dog.
I'm very jealous of him.
All right. So you can go ahead and give your second dude or second thing or whatever you want it to be.
I shall. I'm gonna give like one quick one because I've said so much about the person already, and then
Okay.
I'll give my actual one. It's Calvin Tankman is my quick one. I've got to. Tankman is
Well,
the
you know
reason
what?
I've grown.
Let the podcast viewers know your love with Tankman, bro, because I feel like we ain't really fleshed it out
Okay.
hard.
Well, last year when we did this, or like start of the year, whenever we did this, Calvin was my most anticipated 2021. He's been picked up by MLW. Spoiler alert for the Opera Cup. He's in the finals against fucking Davey Richards. I don't know if he won. I think that match is
But
tonight or next week.
something like that, yeah.
But it's pre-taped, so I don't know. But he's like about to fucking probably win the Opera Cup.
Which,
Fully
yeah,
signed to MLW now.
it's
Like
fucking wild.
killing on the Indies. Just fought Suzuki. Like Tankman is the next big monster like wrestler, like the fucking next big guy, and
Oh yeah.
I just big roadblock, and I similar to Lee Moriarty, Tankman actually did a lot of design stuff for, and he's sort of the reason I've had a little bit big break recently. You know, got to work with quite a few fucking cool people because of him. But yeah, just like I said about Lee, just an overall fucking cool guy. Couldn't say enough
Absolutely,
things about
yeah.
Tankman. Just really cool. That's him. I don't really say much more. I say enough about him. Go follow him on Twitter. Go follow me on Twitter, and you'll
Yes.
see what I say about him. He's a fucking cool
And check out
guy.
his merch too, because Heel Boy designed a few shirts for him. They're all bangers.
I
All
did. I
bangers.
don't know. They should be going up on PWTs soon. Hopefully, we shall see. My actual pick, though, because Tankman I've already spoke about many times, is Gable Steveson.
Damn, I didn't even put him on. Damn, how did I forget about him?
I know. I'm surprised you didn't.
Damn, that's my
I knew
boy.
you wouldn't. Exactly. Gable Steveson. I don't think we need to even say much about Gable Steveson. Everyone knows
Goddamn
who he is.
Olympic wrestler.
Fucking signed to Raw, drafted after tomorrow. After tomorrow's pay per view, he is officially a WWE superstar.
Yep.
Gold medalist. He's gonna be
Yep.
great. He's gonna be so sick. He's gonna be crazy. I'm such a
Wow.
big Gable Steveson guy.
Yeah, what the I just realized you said tomorrow's pay-per-view and it's actually correct. What the fuck? That sounds so
It's
weird.
on like a Thursday.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
literally
5 p.m. for me too. So
it's
it's like
noon for me, I think, or something like that. Yeah,
when
it's
I finish work, the
terrible.
pay per view is gonna be like halfway through.
Dude,
It's never
I
happened in my
you know
life.
what's crazy though? That happened to me one time. I was riding the school bus home and I was watching Takeover London. And Loki was kind of fire. I'm not gonna lie to you because
Yeah,
Enzo and Cass versus the Revival was on, and that shit slapped.
that was a good match. That was
But
cool.
no, Gable Steveson. I'll elaborate on that a little bit with you because obviously I didn't have him on my list, but I'm more anticipating what he's gonna do because I don't know how much he's actually gonna wrestle, and I feel like that's gonna make his matches even more special because the dude is still going to college for this season of collegiate wrestling for his senior year. Like he's not going straight to WWE full time. He signed an NIL deal, which is like the new ruling that so there's the NCAA, which is like the U.S. is like, hey, we have all these colleges. We're gonna have an athletic administration that abides by all of them. Like it covers all of them. And they finally agreed this for this season of sports, like this 2021-2022 season, to give athletes a chance to sign sponsorship deals that were just set in certain parameters because the biggest issue with college athletes was that these colleges were legitimately as colleges to like keep themselves afloat and like build the campus and use marketing and stuff were legitimately making like $300 million a year just off of how big their names were and then not
Crazy.
paying a single athlete on any of their
Yeah, I heard
teams
about
because
this.
obviously it's college, right?
Yeah, you told me about this. Yeah.
But now with the deals that you can make, the NIL deals, you can make sponsorship deals. You can sign contracts with other people and still be in college now, as long as it meets certain guidelines. So his WWE contract is one of those, which means I don't know how. Obviously, the wrestling season is going to conflict with it. I'm sure come January, like February time, whenever they really get into like the nitty gritty of
Yeah,
collegiate
he won't
wrestling,
be
he'll be
around.
out.
No,
But
he won't be
before and
around.
after that, like he'll be free for WrestleMania.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
there's a chance that he has a WrestleMania match that's like on a big level.
He definitely will.
Like not
Um,
just like some random ass match. Like he might beat somebody important. So like
Tag team. It'll be a tag team match. It won't be
I could see it.
singles
I could see it.
because they'll want to, they'll want to give him. He'd still be green at that point.
Let's do Gable Steveson and
Chad Gable.
everyone wants to say that, but
Gable.
the move would have been to keep Kurt Angle around and just have him do an old man match.
Kurt versus Gable. That'd be fucking cool.
Kurt and Gable Steveson versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. It's just WrestleMania 34 again.
Yeah, you want to get someone who can wrestle like amateur wrestling, but also
Ziggler.
is safe. Well, I was gonna say Rick Boogs.
Boogs would be great, but I think if
He's NCAA, I believe.
but if Steveson is because obviously remember Ziggler was a college wrestler. Maybe if they want to do Steveson as a baby face, that'd be a really good
That'd
one
be
on one
cool.
match.
Yeah,
It'd be
that
a
would be
fun
cool.
match. The promos would be
There's a
good.
couple of people. There's definitely a couple of people amateur wrestling that you
Yeah.
could take from. But yeah,
Um.
Gable Stevenson.
Yep. Gable Stevenson's a
With
good
him.
pick. Now my number two on my list. I'm gonna go through the first like three in order, and then I'm gonna start jumping around on mine.
Okay, I haven't got an order. I'm just going for it.
My number two is going to be basically one person in particular, and then a shout out to the people that he's kind of working with right now. It's another AEW guy, another very recent AEW guy. And similar to Lee Moriarty, I just like the style he works. People call him boring. I agree that he has like hardly any charisma, but Daniel Garcia is fun as fuck to watch.
off my list.
All right, well let's just talk about Daniel Garcia then, because I'm telling you, dude, if he can get the right, I think his gimmick's perfect, and I think the reason why I said a shout out to other people is because 3.0 is also on my, because this whole, or 2.0 or whatever, like this whole like
3.0.
3.0,
Swear that's what you said.
but 2.0, like
2.0
this
is
whole
alright.
like what is it, Matt Lee and Jeff Parker.
I don't know the fucking
I
names.
think
I'll
that's,
be
I'm
honest
pretty
with
sure
you.
it's either
I
Matt
know them
Parker.
as fucking
It's either Matt
like
Parker and
Rise.
It's either Matt Parker and Jeff Lee or Jeff Parker and Matt Lee. I'm pretty sure it's the one that I
I
just said.
used to do that with fucking MSK when they changed the Rascals.
Oh yeah, whenever they
I did
were
that a couple times.
Wesley and Nash.
Wesley, Nash Carter, Wes Carter, and Nash Lee. I did that a few times.
I would have called someone Carter Lee,
Carter
but
Lee, Nash,
um
Wes.
that's what Trey Miguel would have been called. Northwest. No, but um no, like I think
Garcia's sick.
I think 2.0 are perfect to be with him because they don't wrestle like any bit as technical as he does, but they have the charisma. So like they work as a group. My thing is, I think the matches that he's been having, like there's the real contingency of people online that want to say that he's kind of just a snooze fest,
Nah, not true.
but it's not true at all. I think his match with CM Punk is the perfect example that this dude's fun to watch. He's fun to watch,
Yes,
but
as well.
he's gonna be the type of guy that I think for a lot of his career, the intrigue of a match with him is gonna come from his opponent, but it'll still be a great match. That's fine. It happens to a lot of wrestlers. Who cares? He's got a big year ahead of him, in my opinion, because I mean, he can only go up. Like the dude's just been doing jobs and like big angles where he loses. So like he can only
Yeah,
go up. And honestly, Daniel Garcia versus Lee Moriarty might become like the
that would be
AEW.
sick.
It might become like the AEW match. Tony Khan says he doesn't like rematches, but if you book that match 25 times in the next 10 years, no one would complain.
It'll be
So,
perfect every time.
so
Garcia just fought Suzuki too. Speaking of entanglement facing Suzuki, and apparently he was like tore the house down. Apparently
I
it's
heard that. Yeah, I saw that.
one of the best matches he's had in his career. And to be honest, for me, he's very similar to like a Zack Saber Jr. That's who like it reminds me of more than anyone.
That's
Where
fair.
he's like a more charismatic. He's got a bit more to him than just like simplicity. That
Saber Jr. is a better heel, but I can definitely see Garcia as a much better face if they ever wanted to make him a face.
yeah, he'll be cool. He'll be fucking sick. He's definitely one to watch. I totally agree with that.
No, yeah.
That's why he's also on my list. Definitely agree.
Now, my next one, I don't know if he'll be on your list, but just because of he's coming off of an injury and he's probably leaving the company that he's currently in, but he's a big name where he is right now. I put Roosh.
Okay,
I
I didn't put Rouge actually.
He's a very talented wrestler,
He's sick. Yeah, he's
and
awesome.
like he's not going to be like the best wrestler in the world necessarily, but whoever gets him, because this ROH thing, there's no way his ROH run is continuing much longer. I feel like
Yeah, I agree.
um when the ROH thing dies off, there's a real good chance he goes to AEW or he just goes back to Mexico or does something.
Mm,
But wherever he goes, he's gonna probably be a world champion just because of the way that this
1000%.
dude is like, or like if not a world champion, a world title contender. Because this guy has the reason why ROH made him the world champ is because he has all the makings of being a world champ. He just needs to
Exactly.
really put it together for
He's
like. He needs to put it together a little bit better for an American audience, I would argue, because he hasn't really been on. I mean, he's been on ROH. That's not really like American TV necessarily, but I could see him being really, really like successful if he goes to any other big company, honestly. So I'm just excited to see what he does.
yeah, I'm a fan of him definitely. You know me, big
Oh yeah,
lucha fan. I love my lucha boys, and definitely Roosh is one to watch because he's like considering how he's so fucking tall. It's weird. He's such a
yeah.
big guy for what he does. Like for what he does, he's not tall, but you know what I'm saying. He's yeah, big fan of him. I love I love Los was it what were they called Los Faction and Gobernador
Los Faction
Day
wasn't.
and Gobernador
Didn't
as
they
well.
say something? Was yeah, De Ingobernables, and then there's like something about like familia. There's like La Familia,
Yeah,
because
Los
the
Faction and Gobernador like something like that.
because the group at one point was just the like La Bestia del Ring, and then like all three of his kids or some shit like that, like legitimate.
Yeah,
And then they added Kenny King. Did you know that?
I did, and then he went. Isn't he in the foundation now?
I have no idea where he is. Kenny King is
He,
just everywhere, dude. Kenny King is
it's true.
all over the place.
No, but Kenny's sick also, but no, I think Rush definitely gonna. I mean, he's gonna go to AEW, isn't he? He's bound to,
With the Andrade stuff, yeah, just
or he just goes back to Mexico.
CMLL. He goes to CMLL and he has a match with like I don't even know.
Pagano,
Tito
Chessman, Khan,
smell like sheet.
Volador Jr.
Stinky motherfucker.
Trust the other.
Bro, you know what we should do for one of these episodes? We should just get four locos now
Oh my
for one
god,
of these.
it
We
tastes
should
good.
both get
I
four
like it.
locos. It is
That's good. I like it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If it's good, nothing come out. If it's not good, it will all come out.
I love Iron
See,
Sheik.
it's
What a
good.
fucking hero. It's orange.
It's orange, orange.
It's good. I like it.
Tastes good. I like it.
I like it.
Fucking, we're just making
Fucking
references that no one gets.
Iron Sheik.
I'll put the link to that video in the description if you want to watch it.
Iron Sheik drinks a Four Loco.
I'm gonna put the video of Iron Sheik drinking a Four
Fucking-
Loco.
It's a fantastic video.
All right. Who do you
So
got
it
next up
was-
for the table?
Yours is Rouge. Who do I want to call out here? Call out? I don't know what it sound like that.
I'm gonna call you out.
I'll go for a bit of a. I'll do what I did before with how I did Tankman because there's another guy that I've spoken about a lot, which is AJ Gray.
Ooh, yes, Rich Homie.
Spoke about him many times. Love AJ. Fucking cool motherfucker. Like cool as shit. Really nice guy.
Gotta love AJ
Gonna be
Gray.
big. I think he's GCW's next big thing. He really.
Oh yeah, no,
he has
he's
to be.
he's got to be one of the next man up to be GCW champion, in my opinion.
He held it for what, a day?
He did, didn't he? But I think he's gonna
Yeah.
have. I think he's gonna have a long reign with it at some point.
He's definitely gonna be signed by a
Goddamn
big company soon.
savage, dude. Goddamn
He'll
savage.
definitely go to like an ROH or you'll see him appear in PWG at some point, something like that, and then big leagues. But just got to quickly shout him out. The actual one I want to talk about is Ren Narita. Now it's a bit of a random one.
Oh, I love it. I love
because
it.
I'm a huge Katsuyori Shibata mark.
Oh, I love this. I love this.
And Ren Narita is literally the second coming of Katsuyori Shibata. If you watched his New Japan Strong matches, it's just like watching like a fucking 25-year-old Shibata wrestle. He's nowhere on the level of like ring psychology and just the way Shibata walks.
Just doesn't have the experience of it either.
He
but
looks the same. He wrestles the same style. He even does the fucking pose and looks the same.
I love it.
I love Ren Narita at the moment, and obviously he's trained by Shibata in New Japan US Dojo at the moment because Strong's on. So he's just going to get better and better, and I definitely think he's one to watch because they're going to put a lot of time and effort into him. Yeah, Ren Narita.
That's a
I like me some
phenomenal
Ren.
pick, dude.
Love me some Ren.
I can get down with some Ren Narita. That I didn't even really consider like any young lions necessarily, if you want to, or like any New Japan Strong people, just because I don't really be watching it, so I don't really know. But
He's the only Puro guy I've got on my list. Which,
from what I have seen, that was a great pick. I kind of have a Puro. I have a Puro thing, and actually, you know what? If we're on the topic of it, I'll just go ahead and say mine. And it's kind of a wrestler slash a company because
do it.
the wrestler is Konosuke Takeshita, and the company as a whole is Cyberfight because it's the combination of Tokyo Joshi Pro, Pro Wrestling Noah, and DDT Pro Wrestling, which are three vastly different versions of Japanese wrestling, all in one giant company trying to just run a sold out show in the Tokyo Dome. The reason why I'm anticipating them is because I'm kind of looking at Japanese wrestling in like the grand scheme of things lately. Like I've been doing that just to like sort of analyze it, like figure it out in my own head. It's kind of going through the transition that like to me, right? I think it's going through the transition that American wrestling went through, like the US pro wrestling, because I feel like New Japan is the established long running name, and it always had competitors, but it was obviously like the one. And even whenever it wasn't as good, it was able to prevail and become like the biggest thing. And it has, it's been treated with so much respect, and it's kind of like this own like it's more of an entity than it is a company sometimes with the way that they treat their
Yeah,
like talent and the way they treat their
I
like
see what you
belts and
mean.
stuff. That they're kind of becoming the NWA from back in the day in a weird
Hmm.
way.
I
And I
can
feel like
respect that
and
for
I
them.
feel like Cyberfight is the beginning of Japan's WWE, where a bunch of companies are coming
Oh,
together to sort of beat the NWA, like how it
yeah,
was back then with the WWF. I feel like it's kind of like that, except you kind of want to root for these guys because New Japan has been a much worse product lately, and Cyberfight's been fun. Like Noah's been great for like the classic like hard hitting Noah stuff if you're into that, and their roster's still fun as ever. I mean, Marufuji's kind of like running the thing right now, so of course he knows what he
yeah,
wants. And
legend.
then DDT is just it's comedy wrestling, but their serious wrestling is as good as ever, and their comedy wrestling is still. I mean, if you can get past the fact that it's comedy wrestling and you enjoy that stuff,
Yeah,
it's as funny as it's ever been. So that's Cyberfight is my pick, kind of for that.
I love that as a pick. It's something I can't comment too much on because I don't watch enough Puro anymore. I used to. I used to watch old Japan was like my favorite thing. Like old school old Japan.
Stan Hansen,
Stan Hansen, fucking Gordy, fucking
the homie too.
Vader, big fucking van motherfucker. All those boys, all the old Japan boys back in the day, especially the Gaijins. Used to love me some Gaijin. Scott Norton, right? I could go on forever,
But
but I don't watch enough Pure to comment on it, and I've seen a few things from DDT, and it's always just fucking hilarious,
see, and I was
really good.
gonna, and then to add to like the pick, because like I said, um, Konosuke Takeshita is like the one specific wrestler from them because he's basically emerging as their ace, and for DDT specifically. But I feel like for Cyberfight as a whole, if they really start to do more like Noah DDT crossover stuff, he's gonna be the ace of it because he's younger still, phenomenal wrestler. The dude's basically Okada but with comedy chops. So he's
Very.
obviously great. And then part of the reason I put him on my anticipated list, the dude was in AEW in 2021 for like two matches. So the chances of him coming back to AEW and being back in the states again are there. They do exist.
Sorry, my
So
phone was vibrating.
no, you're good. But like that possibility is very very real, and I think that's why I'm anticipating him is because I think if he were to come to the U.S. and do like a U.S. excursion, he could have some of the better matches, of the year, and do like a full run. Because there's some guys, and especially if you were to just come to the U.S. and just be a U.S. wrestler, and like that would bring some of the cyber fight people to the U.S. with him, that could be a really fun deal.
Yeah, like I said, I just don't watch enough. I know a few guys like Go Shizaki, obviously know Muta, Dan Shokodino,
Jun Akiyama.
John Akiyama's a
I'm
big
still I'm
wrestler,
still
of
waiting. I'm still
course.
waiting for Akiyama versus Kaiji Muto because that hasn't actually happened.
Isn't he the GHC champion at the moment?
Yeah,
Muto, yeah. So I don't watch it, but I somewhat keep up with it because of like you, Wasabi, Benito, Yola. Shout out the boys. Just forgot we were doing a podcast on for a second. Just had a message
dude. That
from
oh no, what
from
happened?
Shay.
But yeah,
From
no,
Shay
we
McCoy.
we do be watching a little bit of it once in a blue moon. I yeah, I think because
Yeah, so you gotta see. But
oh
yeah,
QT Marshall, the homie out here. But nah, dude. Oh, as NXT's brand ambassador pops in, but
Tedward.
it's Edward. But no, the main thing for me, Cyberfight has a real because they legit gave their world titles to Kaiji Muto and Jun Akiyama, and I thought they were gonna wrestle and they did it. And then Akiyama dropped the belt, and I think Muto held the belt, or vice versa. So like
Yeah,
they kind of just didn't go through with what I thought they would do. But if they come to the states and they bring that match, you can't tell me people wouldn't get hype about it. It's two 50-year-old Japanese legends just throwing down.
yeah. I love
It'd
Muto.
be so hype.
Muto. What other
Um,
variation give me?
right. So yeah, I think it's me again, isn't it? Let me go. Let me go back to just a singular wrestler because this guy is not on this list because I'm like excited about him necessarily. It's because he could either crash and burn or just have a really funny year. Because this guy, I should have anticipated him this year because this year he's been hilarious in a lot of ways. Cody Rhodes is on my list just because I think he something really really terrible is going to happen at some point this year with him in 2022 because 2021 basically I'll just say it like this. My 2022 most anticipated list has Cody Rhodes on it because I genuinely think he could get fired or quit. Now, this is a theory with only a little bit of base behind it, only a little bit of a platform. But
Right.
let me, before I get on this rant, let me close the door since Tedward decided to open my door.
It's just me, or is he crazy to thinking that Cody Rhodes gonna quit the company? Just chatting to yeah, he's a cool guy.
But I don't know what you were saying, but that was funny. But
I
Cody,
said I think you're crazy thinking Cody Rhodes walks
no,
out on AW.
no. Here's the thing, right? I don't know if he walks out or if he gets fired. I don't. I like. I think it's more
How can he get
likely
fired?
than it's ever been. I think it's more likely than it's ever been because if you look at it,
How can he get fired as executive vice president?
that's the thing. He still could though. Tony Khan still has that power.
Tony Khan has to.
But
He's the only one that would do it. But
but
it's not.
if so it started off with the reports that the vice presidents weren't talking to each other.
I did. Yeah, I
When
did
that
read
whole
that.
report came out, it kind of got thrown to the wayside because they basically said, "No, we still love each other." Who exactly was that said they love each other? The Young Bucks and Kenny Omega said that they love each other. And Cody Rhodes was kind of just not even in that, right?
It's true.
So there was that first bit of evidence. The second bit of evidence, Brandy Rhodes as a whole, her whole existence, her whole time on AEW's roster on AEW television, she has become the Yoko Ono of All Elite Wrestling, and I genuinely think people are frustrated with the fact that Cody continues to get Brandy involved in everything that they do. Granted, a shot of Brandy is a phenomenal YouTube show, and I she's had some great promos, and some of her her in ring stuff is okay, but
Road to
I'll
the top.
I'll watch it. That was the third thing I was gonna say. They literally have a whole reality show. I think the reason why they have it is because Cody couldn't. They wanted to give him something because he couldn't get what he wanted at first. Because I think this whole thing that's been coming out about how the EVPs are having less control over the booking and Tony Khan's kind of
Mm.
taking more control of it has only hit one man like that hard really, and it's Cody. And so I think the reality show is low key a band aid on a relationship that is not good. He was
Mm.
and he was kind of like the weird one to join the Bullet Club too. Whenever they first
Yeah,
like did
that
that because
rubs me the wrong way.
Omega, the Young Bucks, Gallows, Anderson, all these people like you look at Devitt, you look at Styles, you look at all the people from the history. Almost all of them had the same background of like they were never in WWE as like a big name besides Luke Gallows. You know what I mean? And he wasn't even a big name.
Yeah, even
Like
then.
they were never really in WWE. They were just like really talented wrestlers that you could believe that were like really good heels that were all gaijins that were in New Japan and they just joined together, boom, stable, yada yada yada. Cody stuck out like a sore thumb,
Yeah, I
and
can.
I think him being in Bullet Club and being Dusty Rhodes' son and being as talented of a wrestler as he is, because in the ring he is still uber talented, is the only
Yeah,
reason he was even
yeah,
one of the EVPs in the first place. So I think this whole thing of their relationship being kind of messed up, I'm jumping the shark with this one because after this there will never be another take that's this good. But I'm genuinely sitting here saying I think the bridge is going to start burning in 2022, it might not be in 2022, but maybe by the end of it, maybe 2 years, 3 years down the road, he'll be the first one out of the EVPs that's just out of there.
I like that. That's a cool.
I had
That's
I had a whole theory behind it and everything,
that's
and low key
interesting, man.
and low key on my sheet I just put Rhodes because if he leaves, Brandy leaves, Dustin might even leave or
I don't think
retire.
Dustin would. I don't think Dustin would.
I don't think he
Because
would either. To be fair, I don't think he would either. But there's obviously the
look at
chance.
WWE. Cody walked out.
Truth.
He fucking stayed for like how many years?
Truth.
Like
4.
3 or 4 years.
And then obviously their interracial baby leaves. So the whole Rhodes family, like most of the Rhodes family, is just gone, dude. They
What
are.
was that baby called? Do we
Do they
have a
even?
name?
I don't think they do.
Should I have a Google?
I don't think they've ever named that child.
I've got to check that.
No, I'm just kidding. No. What is the baby's name? The
Shout
baby.
out
The
QT
baby's name is
Marshall, by the way.
blank. And speaking of people that are related to the Rhodes family or to the Rhodes people, QT Marshall, bro.
QT Marshall.
Because if that all happens, it's gonna be real complicated with the whole Nightmare Factory and yada 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 and them training people. I genuinely think it could happen.
I did not know Scorpio Sky was Brandy Rhodes' cousin.
That's pretty neat.
I'm just looking at family. Children, it says 1. Trained by Norman Smiley and Sarah Del Rey. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Trained by
NXT.
Norman Smiley. Yep, Performance
NXT,
Center.
yeah. They had a baby girl, Liberty Iris Runnels.
Her name's Liberty.
Liberty. Oh my god, no. No.
Okay, he's not only was he was already on my list.
Oh my
Now I need to write it in big bold fucking letters. Cody motherfucking American Nightmare Dream. Every time
Liberty.
if either it's a dream or a nightmare, if you sleep, Cody Rhodes
Lady
is
Liberty.
in your American sleep every
Can't
single
believe
night.
that.
Cody
He's
Rhodes,
actually.
dude.
Oh my god.
This guy is so full of himself. He
I didn't
literally
even think.
thinks he's that
I
American,
didn't
dude.
even think about it. Oh,
Granted, it's
Liberty.
it's kind of cute. American Nightmare. My dad was the American Dream. Now you're the American. Yeah, his daughter's gonna be
Statue.
his his daughter's gonna be Statue of Liberty Rhodes. No, his daughter is gonna be
Oh no.
his daughter is gonna be Liberty American Woman Rhodes.
Oh my
And that's gonna
god.
be the gimmick. And I know it will
Oh,
be. And she
oh,
and give it 20 years, and Tony Khan is gonna have gray hair, and he's gonna look like Doc Brown, and he's gonna buy the rights to that theme. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, dog.
I didn't even put 2 and 2 together then. I said Liberty. I saw your face. And I went, what? What is it?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. You read it out loud, and then just kind of like was like,
I
okay,
was like, oh, Liberty.
go. Okay, there's my rant for the episode. You can go ahead and go to your next.
Liberty Ronald.
Liberty.
Right. Fuck.
You think they
I'm
just?
gonna
You think they just do the Declaration of the Declaration of Independence?
name the fucking new stable.
Oh,
Fuck me, that's really weird. Anyway, my most anticipated. I'm gonna pick a woman, a lady, a
nice.
lady. You know, I'll just run through all 3 of my ladies because there's not really much I can say about them because one of them's still kind of green in the company that they're in. One of them is Jamie Hayter.
Nice. I like that.
Big fan of her. She's of course British, so I've got to have
She's
a little bit.
she's
a little bit-
British. Sorry
She's
about
British
that. I'm
and
sorry.
she can fucking wrestle, and she's built like a fucking brick shit house. So
She is built like a shit brick house.
she's fucking god yoked. So I think she'll be good. I put
Big
Indy Hartwell
That's a great one.
because Index are like the best thing on NXT 2.0 besides fucking Italian boy that I can't remember the name. What's his name?
Tony D'Angelo.
That's the one.
Yep, there it is.
Shout
Did
out.
you see that he was talking to the damn? He got the in-ring interview and then he like slapped her bicep before he walked out.
Fucking great.
He gets
Tries to pay off the referee.
Tony
What the
D'Angelo. Yeah, I'll just honorary put him on my list because dude, this guy. Real quick, Tony D'Angelo. He gets it. He gets it, dude. He literally gets
He's-
it. He gets it.
He should join up, honestly, with Riddick Moss and Baron Corbin. That
They
would be
should
like,
they should bring back Nunzio
I
just for Tony D'Angelo.
they shouldn't do that. That's a terrible idea.
I love the idea. That's why I said it. But it is
Indy
terrible.
Hartwell, Jim here, and then the first ever TBS champion, Jade Cargill. because
Fuck yeah.
it's obviously going to be Jade Cargill. For fuck's sake, it's the reason they made the title.
Dude, and if Brandy leaves like I'm predicting, then she will never lose a match because you know if Jade Cargill loses a match, it's to Brandy. You know it's gonna happen.
True.
Brandy's gonna get her damn win back, bro.
Cody versus Smart Mark Sterling coming soon. Oh. They would do that. They would do the mixed tag team
I'm
match, wouldn't
surprised they
they?
haven't.
It's true. But yeah, those are my three women: Jamie Hayter, Jade Cargill, and Indy Hartwell. Because I think those three are going to be your standout
You know
women.
what? I love all those picks. We already said what we said about Jamie Hayter. Indy Hartwell has very underrated comedic chops, so she's going to be
She's a really
great in
good
that
wrestler
department.
too.
And
She's a good worker.
she's really fucking solid in the ring.
She is a really good worker. And Jade Cargill's Jade
And
Cargill. She's
Jade
scary.
Cargill might be she might be the like the best worst promo in the business right now. Cause she do be cutting promos like a damn robot, but they don't feel. I don't know what it is about her because she's cutting promos like no one has ever said a word before in their life, type
Yeah.
promos, but it still sounds real. Like it doesn't sound like she's like faking a promo somehow. So it makes me think
She's
that she'd
good.
just be talking like
She's
that. And then in the
she's
ring,
good.
in the ring she's a goddamn powerhouse, and I love it.
She's really good. Those are my three women, anyway. They're the only women on my list, so
Actually, I have one woman on my list, only one, but I do have a
do
woman on
it.
my list, and it's actually a collective in a way because it is kind of a woman, and then, but and that kind of gave it away if you're thinking of it. But for the specific, Billy Starks, who I think is going to just continue to take over the independent scene as she already has, even though she's
Yeah,
only
she's
what is she still 17 or is she 18 now? Like how she's young as
this.
shit,
Oh,
younger than both of us,
she
and
follows me on Twitter every
she's
time.
younger than both of us, and she's having phenomenal matches with women, phenomenal matches with men. She's having phenomenal tag matches, mixed tag matches, intergender tag matches. She's just everywhere right now. To the point where
Yeah,
companies are giving her her own shows. Like her birthday show coming up, like for her birthday, is literally a card that she booked, and she's going to be in like the first match, so she can watch the rest of it from the from the front
that's so
row.
fucking
Like she
good.
literally just gets a whole show for herself. Um, and then because of Billy Starks, obviously, if you're talking about Billy Starks, you got to talk about the Billy Starks brand being represented by Tankman, by Moriarty, by Brett Eisen,
Literally
who's
everyone.
kind of like a guy that's starting to get some traction right now, big old bald
He is, yeah.
savage. Um, there's too many to name. So many people are in the Billy Starks brand. If you think you see the BBB, the big baller brand, like Lonzo Ball from basketball back in the day, if you're a basketball guy, or if you think you see like if you just see like a white and blue logo on somebody's like knee pad specifically, it's usually the knee pad. It's probably the Billy Starks brand knee pad because I mean it has reached every company I think in pro wrestling besides WWE at this point. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
no,
So like
definitely, definitely.
it is the Billy
Because
Starks
even when you
brand
go
be
to,
hitting,
I
dude.
think even when you go to Impact, I think
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Because who
there's
was in it?
definitely someone who was in Impact. It's probably like Jake something, probably someone like that.
Yeah, someone like that wore it, and then I know
Maybe.
that like anywhere in the U.S. at least. I know in Mexico it probably hit once or twice already because I'm sure some crazy shit's happened. But in Japan it probably hasn't hit, but it will when things start to open up a little bit more. Japan will definitely get it
I
if
mean,
there's ever
maybe.
like a tour over there. But
Yeah.
dude, Billy Stark's brand is just so exciting to watch, and I'm very fortunate to live where I live because there's a real good chance that I'm just gonna be in like the general circle of all that happening, and it's just gonna be hype as fuck, dude.
You're gonna be signed to the big Stars brand.
Dude, if I get in the Big Starks brand, I'm you don't understand how gassed I'm gonna be, bro.
Oh no, yeah, yeah,
You
I
have
get
no
that.
idea. I'm gonna be wearing the shirt like every other podcast, and I'm or I'm gonna have like a big old banner hanging up behind me or something. I gotta do something
Mm,
for it.
love that.
But yeah, that's my female pick slash collective thing.
Love that.
Now my last three are weird because my last three are a company, a guy that isn't. Well, actually, I'll say this: a company for for a specific reason,
We
a
might have the
guy
same one.
a
We might
guy
have the
that's
same one.
a guy that's not a wrestler at all, but is involved with wrestling, which is going to be a
Okay.
fun one, because those two kind of go hand in hand. So I might say them kind of together. And then my last one is straight up just a wrestler because there's some rumors about him. Those
Okay.
are so I think I'll start with I'll do the two that go hand in hand, kind of, because if the guy that's a non wrestler does what I think he's gonna do, like through 2022, then the other thing that I'm talking about with the company will probably come true.
Okay.
So number 6 on my list is WWE. Wait for it. The specific reason you'll see. Now number 7 on my list was Andrew Yang, the politician, entrepreneur, because Andrew Yang is the guy that's fighting right now to get WWE's contracts changed so people in WWE aren't independent contractors anymore. He's the one that's been fighting them on their contracts. But I only put WWE as a company because I think in 2022 they're going to sell the company. I genuinely think they spent all year so far getting ready for it, and Nick Khan is trying to be one of the top 2 Khans in pro wrestling, obviously, and he's not trying to be number 2. So I think they've been getting ready to sell, and I think they really genuinely are about to. I think they genuinely are. And I think even if it doesn't happen in 2022, they'll get close. They'll get really fucking close. Or like
Yeah,
the rumors
maybe.
will get really, really hype. Um, but also as a general company, I genuinely think, I mean, the start of the year for a company like WWE, like the start of the year for WWE is always the best part of the year. January through April, like Rumble through Mania, is always the best part. I'm interested to see how Big E's title run goes. I'm interested to see how Roman Reigns, if he does lose the belt at Mania, how that'll go, or if he loses it at Crown Jewel tomorrow. Like, I'm interested to see what he won't.
No
There's
way.
no way.
No
But I'm
way.
really interested to see like what Lesnar does after this Reigns match, and a lot of that's going to go down in 2022 because of Rumble and Mania. So I mean, I am very interested to see what they do for the rest of the year or for 2022. I mean,
Hmm.
but also I'm not saying that they will necessarily, but I think I can totally see it with them selling the company. And then the reason why Andrew Yang goes hand in hand with that is because he's kind of just like on their ass right now. And so even if they don't sell the company, one thing that's going to have to change at some point before they do is Andrew Yang and this like whole like contract thing. And it's becoming a legal matter, and it's becoming the type of thing that is going to be drug out probably through most of, if not all of 2022 with like
It's really interesting.
getting that taken care of. I went pretty deep with my most anticipated. I really
You
did.
did. I don't personally
But
see. I see Cody leaving more likely than
that's a good point.
Dub selling.
And you know what? I
If
agree
I
with
was to
that.
pick one of them.
I agree with that. Man,
Yeah,
if
obviously
I should have
Vince
gone
is
super
big.
deep, I should have gone super deep and just been like Vince McMahon dies in 2020.
Wow.
No, he won't. That man's gonna. Do you think about the way that he lives his life? He's gonna
Ric
live.
Flair gets taken out of the Hall of Fame. Hulk
Nope,
Hogan style.
nope. I don't see it.
Okay. Hogan style. He gets
Taken out to put
like
back in.
like deactivated from
He
the Hall of
gets
Fame.
deactivated. He gets suspended from the Hall of Fame.
Like take 1.5 rings from him because he's got two, hasn't he?
Let's okay. You know what? You know what my
He's
argument
got
is.
Horseman and he's got.
You know what my argument is.
Mm.
Flair's been in the Hall of Fame this whole time. The company that he's in the Hall of Fame for are literally the company that knew what he did on that plane. And it's just the public didn't know it. So for me, unless something else
It's a
happens,
good point.
they won't take him out. They knew what he did.
Vince was literally on that plane. Like,
He literally was. All the wrestlers that were there talking, whoever fucking inducted him, whoever it was, probably was on that plane too. A lot of his friends were on that plane. They don't care. Tommy Dreamer was on that
crazy.
plane, and Tommy Dreamer would never want him out of the Hall of Fame because Tommy Dreamer's a dick. We get this. Like, he's not going to get kicked out
Stick.
for it. He has to do something else. He has to do something
No, that's
else,
a good point. That's a good
in
point.
my opinion.
Fuck.
But yeah, I agree with you, though, that I could see Cody and AEW having like a split or just starting to get towards a split more than I can see WWE selling because Vince is going to live till like 2030. They're going to make a mecha Vince. Um, they think
Cryogenic freezing Walt Disney style.
they will, and then he's going to come the anonymous Raw GM, but he's just just a frozen head.
Is Hunter gone yet? He'll wake up from the cryogenics. Family
Boo-doo-doo,
Guy style.
boo-doo-doo.
We'll see.
But yeah, dude, and Andrew Yang is on the list just because he's personally I loved him as a politician and just as a person. Like I loved him as a
That is,
person.
I'll be honest.
He was a nonprofit entrepreneur that was just running these different nonprofits, and I think he got his money. Well, his parents were kind of wealthy
His dad was
to an
what,
extent.
Yang twins?
Yes, and his mom was Yang or Ying. I'm stupid. Um,
Oh, that motherfucker. Yeah,
yes,
I recognize him. Oh,
he ran as a Democrat, but really was low key. Didn't even really like. He was just running because he has a good idea that Loki ain't even some presidential type shit. He just has an idea for like business, and so said fuck it.
Okay.
He said fuck it, I'm gonna run. And now everyone knows that he's like a total like he's just kind of a funny dude, cool guy, kind of a meme lord. And if you don't agree with his politics, that's totally fine. I understand it because he is kind of like out there. But we're not here to get into that, obviously. But as a person, he's really really cool, and
Hmm.
he's always been a wrestling fan. He's posted pictures plenty of times when he was in his 20s and 30s, like when he was in college at like I think he went to Harvard, like straight up Harvard. He legit
Probably.
he
Yeah.
legit would go to Halloween parties like dressed up as pro wrestlers. Like the dude was
Wow.
just a huge wrestling fan, so whenever he realized that he had a platform to try to shut down the terrible contracts that WWE run where they have you under contract. You're not an independent contractor, but because they say that you are, they literally tell you that you are, so they don't have to give you benefits. That's literally all it is. So like now we're kind of at that point where he's someone's trying to get on them for it. So I just put him on the
Mm.
list because I like the guy already, and I'm interested to see what he can do like
Not
for the
bad.
business in a sense.
You went deeper than I did. Oh well.
Well, I was in a mood. No, but also you went for actual like wrestling and stuff. I went for because I'm anticipating the landscape changing, and part of the reason why I'm putting it that way is because I tend to have a struggle sometimes at actually catching the matches themselves, but I know all the news. So for
Yeah.
me, I'm going to anticipate some news more than I'm going to anticipate certain people because I might not
That's
even
fair.
catch their matches. That's just me though.
That's fair. It's definitely fair. Who's your male wrestler? Who
Oh,
you
my
got?
male wrestler, even if he stays where he is right now, I'm still kind of anticipating him because I think he's due for another run because this guy kind of goes in like runs with his career, but his contract's supposed to be up. And if he goes to AEW, this motherfucker, if Kevin Steen
Oh, oh yeah.
ends
Owens
up
is gonna stay.
if Kevin Steen ends up in All Elite Wrestling, it will be one of the greatest things to ever happen to pro wrestling because I think he
Yeah, I
would be
love that.
so fucking fantastic there. And even then, he's just even in WWE, I think if they give him another run by the end of the year, by the end of 2022, it'll still be good. But his contract's supposed to run up soon, right? Like isn't it January or some shit like that?
January 22. Yeah.
If he spends the better part of like 11 to 10 months in AEW next year, dude, it's gonna be phenomenal. Like
He's. I love
he's
him.
so good. He's
I
so damn
really,
good.
really do love
He's
him.
so good.
I think that'd be fucking
He
sick. That'd be really cool.
I mean, he is like whenever they say the term indie darling, I think he might be
He
like the
coined the
goat.
phrase. Yeah.
Yeah, he's literally the goat of
He's
indie darlings. That's why I think
invented the phrase. Yeah.
and AEW is truly like
Well, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk invented the phrase, but
I mean, yeah. But in my opinion,
I don't know. It's
AEW
definitely
is kind of the way I look at AEW is it is indie darlings as a national promotion. So
it's where the indie darlings go to die. But Cody's gonna leave because he's never been an indie darling. What if he goes back to WWE? Big brain. NXT 2.0 Cody Rhodes.
2 Point Roads.
2 Point Rhodes. To the top. 2 Point Rhodes to the top. That's the second season. Fuck. He's staring at. He's staring at.
The dog.
What the dog do? I suppose I'll go for my. I haven't spoke about promotion yet, so I'll go for a promotion. Oh,
Sorry, no,
what the
you're good.
dog?
You can keep going. I got my headset on.
Yeah, I'll talk about promotion. Probably one of my favorite promotions this year as well
I feel like
was
I know where this is going.
GCW
Yep,
Game Changer Wrestling.
the big
Quite literally
homies.
changed the game. The reason I'm so big on them for 2022 is they've gone huge this year.
Yeah.
They're only getting bigger. They've just fucking they've got a show in the Hammerstein in 2022, and they've just started a brand new like promotion
Oh yeah,
called
the
LA Fights.
the LA Fights thing or LA Combat wasn't it something like that?
It's some I think it's LA
Who?
Fights.
It's literally it's the LA Dojo Arena from 2K20.
Basically, it's GCW LA is all it is.
I
So
like that a lot.
a lot of my favorite fucking wrestlers at the moment in GCW. I think some of
Same.
the best matches in the past year have been in GCW. Like
Yeah, I kind
just
of look at GCW as like when AEW came a thing, it kind of killed PWG and ROH. So GCW
mm,
just came right in and just took their place as like that big like kind of indie type promotion.
yeah. Someone made the comparison that you got WWE is your WWF, AEW is the WCW, and GCW is the ECW,
That's very fair,
which
actually.
I think is fucking true.
Yeah, and the reason why that works too is because GCW doesn't like ROH to an extent, and especially PWG didn't present like themselves as like a major promotion at by any means, but GCW presents themselves like a
they're
goddamn.
getting they're getting way bigger now.
They present themselves even whenever they weren't that like they'll have a show literally outdoors in front of 200 people and they'll present it like it's a
Yeah.
legit big show. Like that's what I respect about GCW so much is that their presentation that they put into it.
The fact that we've also sponsored a GCW show, which is fun.
We really did. We
We
really did.
sponsored the what do we do? The Black Label Pro block.
Of the Fight Forever weekend
Yeah,
where they did 48 hours of wrestling. Well, it was that like 7 a.m., wasn't it?
yeah, we were super
Dude,
fucking early on.
you know what? I didn't even think about that because they did that. Didn't they do that earlier this year?
5 row, yeah, yeah.
Or was that there? Might have been late last year. Or just like
No,
really.
it
No,
was
it
this year.
was.
I think it was like March this year
Was it
or
Mania
April.
weekend?
I think it was like just when COVID was like starting to sort of ease off a
It
little
might have
bit,
been Mania weekend, Loki.
possibly.
But regardless, Fight Forever. I just thought about this. You know, we need to do Dynamic Dan's needs to be a sponsor for the next Fight Forever because
The next time
surely they'll do
okay.
one. I'm so
Oh
down.
yeah,
We'll get
yeah.
Dynamic Dan's on the mat. Remember they had the option to get the ring mat on Dynamic. We'll get the Dynamic Dan's
That'd
logo.
be so good.
We should make a really obnoxious logo with both of our faces on it,
Like
just so it'd be on the ring mat. Just going.
that'd be that'd be
we
so
should
fucking fun.
we could get that logo that I was joking about, where we're like superheroes, just like banging stomachs,
I'm fucking
and
in.
then it just says
Let's
our
do
name,
it.
and then it just says our name like under it, like
Double
Dynamic Dan's
D's,
under
it
it.
says underneath.
And then no one fucking knows what that means, and it's just like,
Double
what is this
D's
on the
is just
mat?
two fucking fat
And
guys.
it's just two, just
Perfect.
it's just meat smacking meat.
Love it.
Um,
It's perfect.
that's fucking awesome. All right, GCW is a great pick though. I did give Brett Lauderdale my dumbass of the year for 2020, but I
He's
still
he's done pretty good.
he's a fucking dipshit, but I love his company, dude.
He proved you wrong this
You know,
year.
here's the thing, right? He didn't prove me wrong at all because the Nick Gage Dark Side of the Ring came out, and that guy was stupid as shit.
I
Brett
can't say a
Lauderdale
bad
was
word
not.
about Brett because I won't get a gig from him again. But
No, legit though, he is cool as fuck though, and like his company's great. Man, biggest dumbass.
Brett's okay.
We could have considered Nick Gage simply for the fact that they reminded all of us that. I mean, I guess he wasn't biggest dumbass for this year, but Nick Gage for the
Gage.
for wearing a bandana over his face for every wrestling match and then robbing a bank with nothing on his face. That if that qualifies if that was this year. That definitely qualifies. But you can't say that he's a big dumbass. I mean, he's just kind of crazy.
He's a weird fucking man.
If you're gonna call him the biggest dumbass, then Jun Kasai is just even
Jun
worse.
Kasai,
He's
bro.
crazy, bro.
Crazy monkey.
Crazy Monkey's the worst, bro. All right, I actually don't have anything else on my most anticipated list. So if you have anything else to add,
I
you can
got
just
three
go for
more.
it. Three more, go for them all then.
So three things most anticipated in wrestling. You got heel heat.
Oh, that's cheeky. That's
What's
so
that?
cheeky. I love
I had
it.
to put myself. I did put my name in there too because I am very proud of where I've got to this year. I think next year is going to be insane for me, so I'm very excited to see what that holds.
Nice.
Obviously, like everyone saw, I'm currently in contact with QT Marshall. QT Marshall. Oh, I froze. Hello. There we go.
No,
So this,
it didn't actually freeze on my end. It's being weird
I
because
did not.
it's
I just
showing a
froze.
lot of freezes on like my computer, but then on my phone it's good. So it's like it's just random as hell.
Yeah, but definitely me. But the main one I put down was the Dynamite Dance podcast.
Dude. I was dude.
That's
The last three were just shameless plugs. Let's go,
a
dude.
fucking you gotta be bro. If you
We
can't
gotta do the
support
air
if you
dap.
can't support yourself, who's gonna support you?
air dap after that one, G. Just air dap
Yeah,
over the internet.
definitely.
Just give you the damn. Bring that.
For real, for real. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Dude, that was. You know what? I'll put all three on my list too because my man over
Oh
here,
yeah.
Heel Boy, is abs. You know what? This will be my final three: Heel Heat, Dynamic Dance podcast, and
Let's
my
go.
potential wrestling career that's going to be
Wrestling career.
happening in 2022. We're out here living our lives. We're out here making shit happen out here in these streets.
Love to see it.
Dude, I Dynamic Dance podcast, dude, the next two episodes, I'm just letting y'all know, finna be bangers. Because the Halloween episode, look at the face that he's making right now. I didn't even realize. The Halloween episode, the shirt that I'm wearing was kind of a spoiler. I'll just say that out. I'll
Oh,
just
that's
say
good
that out
stuff.
loud. Um,
We could just
y'all,
announce what we're gonna be dressed as. I don't really care.
no, I don't want you to announce because yours is
No.
fucking too good. People can kind of know what mine is, but they won't, But dude, the Halloween episode's gonna be hilarious as shit. And honestly, we're not gonna really have much else to talk about, but just current events, news, whatever, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. We might honestly, Heel Boy, let's share some fucking Halloween stories or some stupid shit whenever we get to it.
Halloween stories. Oh god.
And then
I don't know if I have
two
any.
episodes from now will most likely be the Triple Dan, the three way, the three way.
Oh,
That's what I'm gonna. Oh, I just thought of the
three-way
name of it.
dance.
You're on it, dude. Three way
Three-way
Dans.
dance.
Three way
That's good.
Dans.
That is
Okay,
fucking
three.
good.
Okay, so we might have
That's
to make a
pretty
third.
good.
We might have to make a second podcast. No, three way Dan's coming in 2 weeks. I had to
Oh,
finish that sentence. No, three way Dan's coming in 2 weeks. So definitely expect that. And Dynamic Dance Halloween episode next week. And then after that, we'll get back to your regularly scheduled programming.
I don't know if we will. I have a lot of stuff going on in November, but we'll see.
You do have a lot of stuff going on, but I mean, I'm fine to bulk record if you're hella down for
I'm
it. We
fucking
can,
down.
dude. We
I
could.
got my university graduation in November,
Whoa, whoa. You
so
know
that's
what?
fucking cool.
Dynamic Dan's episode 6 or 7, whichever one it'll fall on, will straight up just be him podcasting from his graduation. You know the vibes.
You got it. You got me.
No, I don't know how often. By the way, I'll say this: I don't know how often we're gonna try to have guests on here. It's really just whenever we feel like it. Um, because this first one's just working out because it's just hilarious that we know another guy named Dan. That's cool. But I've actually talked about, and we'll talk about this a little bit more. But I've talked about some different stuff with like different people already about like getting them on. So we'll definitely have some stuff to do for this
Definitely.
podcast for sure. But yeah, man,
QT Marshall's blowing up my phone right now, so I'm a little bit.
oh, QT, bro, we trying to get QT on the show?
Should get QT Marshall. He's not called Dan.
I don't care.
Wait,
You know why? Because the
what's
two
QT's shoot name?
here's the three qualificate. I think it's Quentin Tarantino Marshall.
Michael.
Is it Michael? Wait, so was MT Nakazawa a rib on QT Marshall?
Wait, what?
Think about it.
He's a co-owner and trainer of the Nightmare Factory, a professional wrestling training facility alongside Cody and Glacier of the Nightmare family. This one is Glacier of the Nightmare family. Did I miss an episode of it?
Also,
Wait,
it
Glacier's a trainer at Nightmare Factory.
it just broke kayfabe. Just broke kayfabe.
Oh shit! Yeah, sorry, QT. No one saw this.
Broke kayfabe, dude. I got an update that just popped up on my computer, and the stream's still good. I think because it's only recording the Discord thing, but like my screen's all like slow right now. Why would you? Okay, computer. Why would you pop up with an update and then it just immediately is not responding?
Michael Glacier was at AEW Double or Nothing, wasn't he? In the Casino Battle Royale.
He was.
That's because he's a part of the Nightmare family.
Glacier's my
That's so
favorite member of the
funny.
Nightmare Family, dog.
Personal life. He participated in the annual Monsters Celebrity. God, I couldn't read that. Bowling tournament on June 30th, 2012. Good for Glacier, bro.
I did not expect you to say bowling tournament at the end of that at all.
Glacier is also a Southeastern super heavyweight full contact karate champion.
Anyway, what the fuck?
He was number 488 of the 500 and PWI 500 in 2003.
How?
Who's also United States Wrestling Alliance.
Oh Lord.
Oh
Meanwhile,
God.
things are dying on my computer right now.
Should we end this?
Yeah, we should totally end this. Y'all have a good one. Y'all enjoy yourselves if you're even hearing this outro. I don't know if it died and didn't pick this up or not, but we'll see. But yeah, be ready for more episodes of the Dynamic Dance podcast. And oh, it's coming back. Oh, it's back. It's back. It's back. But yeah, y'all have a good one. Y'all, like I said, y'all enjoy yourselves. Be sure to stay tuned. And something that if you made it this far into the video, you might as well subscribe. You might as well leave a like. You might as well, you might as well go in the comments and say something stupid. Um,
Make
you
sure
know,
it's PG though. Keep it PG.
I don't. You know what? Yeah, keep it PG. And if you
We're
want to
gonna
go,
get banned.
and if you want to go PG-13, do it. Do it.
If you don't, then don't.
If you don't, you're a pussy. I don't mean
I'm
that.
tired.
I don't mean that.
I
But yeah,
do.
we're gonna let Huble go to bed, and we are gonna get out of here. Shout out everybody that was just watching. Like I said, if